Well, hello everyone. This is Mr. Nelson, and today we're going to go over some of the basics of tinkerCAD. Just some of the things that you need to know to be able to make anything you want. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. So once you get into tinkerCAD, so you've logged in using let's see, for school, you would be using your Google account. You've logged in using your Google account and you end up going through a few things and maybe, let's see, a tutorial that you can just skip if you want to, because this is your tutorial. Uh, and now you're at this screen that says, hey, create a new design. What do you want to do? So I'm going to create a new design. Now, creating a new design means that I have all of this work plane to work with. And I can use the square over here in the upper left-hand corner to move my work plane around so I can see all around it. So it's not flat. It's not that orthographic view that we were talking about, although you can get that. And then over here, you have a whole bunch of shapes. This stuff up here, I wouldn't worry about right now. If you happen to click on it, all you have to do is click the X and it will go away. So I'm going to start off by just dragging out a simple shape. Here's a box. Now, I can go ahead and I can use this fit view, and that can zoom in so that I can see the shape a little bit better. I can also zoom out using the plus or minus buttons here, or sometimes my mouse and other things. So here, if I click on a white dot, it's going to tell me how big this is. This is 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters. And I can go ahead and I can drag it out, and you can see those numbers are going to change as I move this around. A white dot will move both the length and the width. A black dot will either move the length or the width, mattering which one you choose. And the white dot in the middle makes it thicker or thinner. So those are the ways we can alter our shapes. We can also, and let me do this a little bit so you can see. Here I've got an arrow, and that will allow me to raise the shape off the ground or down below. And you see that as I raise it up, this number over here gets larger. So right now it's 21 millimeters above the ground. Now, whoops, I don't want to make it too small. I want to go back and put it back on the ground. So over with basic shapes, you have a whole bunch of other options that you can choose. Go ahead and explore those at your own time. Um, so we've learned a little bit about how to move things around. Now, the hardest part for many people is putting things together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this cylinder and I'm going to move it right here. So it's right in between. So it's cutting into this. Now, if I go ahead and I try to move both of them, I'll have to move one and then the other. If I could glue them together, that would be fantastic. And then I could move them together as one piece. So how you do that is if you've got something already selected, then you hold down the shift key on your keyboard and you click the other object and you'll get both of those together. If you don't have anything selected, you hold down the shift key and you click on the objects that you want. You can click on as many objects as you would like. You'll know how many objects you've chosen by where it says here above this orange dot, shapes 2. So above the solid color, it says shapes 2. And that tells me that I have 2 shapes. Now, right above that shapes, this lit up. This turned black. It went from gray to black. And this is the group button. And when I push the group button, now I have one shape and it's all glued together. So that's something you need to practice a lot with to make sure that you've understand how to do that, and you can do that really quick, because that's what makes this so cool is you can do so many things once you know how to group things, because this is addition. We added these two shapes. But what would happen if I wanted to subtract? So I'm going to take, well, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to click and then delete. I'm going to take this gray striped cylinder and I'm going to put it right here. Let's see, right there. Now I can check my top view and see, oh yeah, it's right where I want it. So this is subtraction. So what I do is I hold down my shift key again. This has already been selected, so I've got the white dots. I hold down my shift key, I click on the other shape. It says shapes 2. All of these things light up now. And I click on group and watch what happens. I now have cut a round hole. So I've subtracted that shape from the shapes that I already had. And that is the way that you can go ahead and put things together and take things apart and put holes in things, and all the different ways that you can you make things are by gluing them together or putting a hole in them. Now you might look over here and say, but the box and the cylinder are the only holes, and they're the only holes that are here. But I can take any shape I want, and up here in the inspector, I can change it from a solid to a hole. So now this is a hole, and I'm going to put this right here. And let's go ahead and I'm going to group that. So shift, push down. I have two shapes. This is lit up. And now I've even cut out that roof shape, that triangle shape. So there are all those different things that you can do besides moving things around and raising them up. So today, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to practice grouping and putting holes in, which is also a grouping. So addition and subtraction, and play around with moving things and and just get yourself comfortable with how this works, so that when it comes to the time where I ask you to make something, you know how all the tools work, so you can then make it. That's it really for today. What I'd like you to do is take the rest of the time that you've got and practice and work on those. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and a great holiday, since this is being recorded right before we go off on winter break. So enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you in January when we return. Bye.